Maintenant, je demanderai à M. Gaetan Chester Duval de prendre le siège à côté de Brian ici, puis Lucien. J'ai une petite question, plutôt sur une note personnelle. On vous appelle Chester ou Chess. Pouvez-vous nous expliquer d'où ça vient?
Chester, ça vient principalement de l'émission qu'il y avait à la télévision autrefois, Gunsmoke. C'était l'adjoint du Marshal, Dylan. Et moi, j'avais eu un accident de moto à cette époque, puis je boitais. Ils ont commencé à m'appeler Chester, puis ça a toujours resté par la suite.
C'est ce que j'ai pensé, j'étais pas certain. Ensuite, vous et M. Régent-Beauregard, vous avez développé la machine qui est la double chenille qui est devenue la Twin Track, et ensuite on l'a appelée la Formule 1. Donc vous l'avez dessiné ou conçu, vous l'avez dessiné, vous l'avez fabriqué ensemble. Est-ce que lors de la fabrication ou je sais pas, la conception de cette machine, vous avez été influencé par la machine qui a été poussée par Gilles Villeneuve à l'époque, son Alouette 74? My question to him is, to Mr. Duval is, with Régent Beauregard, they conceived, designed, and fabricated the twin track, which became the Formula One snowmobile race sled. And I asked, was not Yvon Duhamel, but rather Gilles Villeneuve's 1974 Alouette, was that something that gave him the idea to develop the Formula One eventually?
Définitivement, l'idée de Gilles avec les deux chenilles nous avait influencé. Sauf que nous, personnellement, ce qu'on pensait, c'était qu'on voulait avoir un véhicule que le pilote pouvait s'incliner et aider la machine dans des conditions de course plus sévères quand la track lui donne. Ce que Gilles ne pouvait pas faire parce qu'il était dans un cockpit fermé. Donc, il n'avait aucune habileté à transférer son poids du côté gauche dans les tournants. L'idée est venue de là. On s'était rendu, Régent et moi, un été aux États-Unis, à Oswego. C'était des courses de stock car sur un 5/8e de mille sur l'asphalte. Et à partir de ce moment-là, on avait vu Jimmy Champagne, qui était un coureur à l'époque très, très renommé, qui avait fabriqué un véhicule offset. Puis on s'est inspiré beaucoup plus de ça que du Twin Track à Gilles, à vrai dire. Donc l'idée est partie de là.
Do English. Capable de répondre en anglais également, oui. Merci, M. Duval.
Our inspiration from Gilles' machine, of course, we took some idea, like the two tracks, but the rest directly come from the idea to lean the driver on the outside, on the left side. So we decided at that time that it was probably a better idea for everyone, especially on rough condition, to keep in control of the machine. That's why we came up with that design.
La deuxième question, c'est de savoir, Gilles Villeneuve a coursé, je pense, la Formule 1, la Twin Track en 1981 à Montréal. Est-ce qu'il a participé, lui, au développement de la machine Formule 1? Est-ce qu'il vous a donné du feedback? I asked him, I'm sorry, I'll ask the question in English so we can answer in English afterwards. Gilles Villeneuve raced the twin track Formula One in 1981 in Montreal, and I asked Mr. Duval if he gave the race team at Skidoo any feedback, or did he give any advice as to how to develop the sled?
First of all, Gilles was based in Italy at that time for Ferrari. We were in contact, Jacques, Gilles and I, with some formula that Gilles was working on his side to help us developing the process of the twin track by itself. Like he was working on different ratios for transmission and stuff like that. We didn't have any computer at that time here in Canada, or even in the US, except the NASA probably. but Ferrari was well equipped, so he was giving us some idea through not even a fax. The fax wasn't existing, it was more like on the telex, for those who remember. So that's the involvement of Gilles. Finally, he ended up being in Montreal at the Grand Prix Saint-Laurent. He wanted to race, but he didn't have the permission of Ferrari to do it. So he told Ferrari, oh, it's only a go-kart race, you know. So he didn't tell their boss what it was all about. He came in Valcourt. We built a machine in a record day, I would say 3 or 4 days, not more than that. And he went on the track to try it the first time. He crashed the thing, you know, the first night around a pole that we had the track in Valcourt. We rebuilt the sled and then ended up at Montreal au Grand Prix Saint-Laurent. I believe he finished 5th into the race, you know, with that sled, so it was pretty good, you know, for a first time out. Gilles was a super guy, you know, very good in development, had a good idea, and for certain things he helped us a lot, clutching stuff and handling too. He had very good idea. Excusez-moi. Gilles était venu ici au Canada, au Québec, pour courir une course en Formule 1 qui était le Twin Track. C'était les premières années du Twin Track. Il avait dit à ce moment-là qu'à Ferrari, qu'il s'en allait faire une course de kart, que c'était rien d'extraordinaire. Donc, il avait outrepassé les droits un peu qu'il avait, mais il ne s'en était pas vanté. Il était quand même venu courir. On avait travaillé pour lui sur un projet pour préparer la machine en conséquence. Et on avait eu 4 ou 5 jours d'avis pour lui fabriquer une machine. On avait mis à peu près tout le monde pour ça. Puis il s'était présenté à la piste d'essai à Valcourt. Puis je pense que c'était son premier ou deuxième tour. Il l'avait enroulé à l'entour d'un poteau. Fait qu'on avait repris tout. Heureusement, c'était pas fait mal, mais quand même. On s'était rendu au Grand Prix à Montréal. Puis il avait fini en 5e position. Il était content de lui-même, puis il nous avait remercié amplement. Il nous aidait beaucoup dans le sens qu'on communiquait ensemble par téléx à ce moment-là. Puis c'était un chic type, un homme qu'on ne verra plus jamais, ça c'est sûr.
Merci, M. Duval. M. Imbault, vous avez été directeur de l'équipe de course chez Skidoo jusqu'à il y a 3 ans. Je pense que vous avez pris votre retraite en 2007. 4 ans, vous l'avez pris en 2012, je crois. Vous avez vu pas mal de courses sur Duval, Snowcross. La question que je vais vous poser, c'est comment se fait-il qu'après plusieurs années maintenant, il y a beaucoup plus d'engouement pour le Snowcross que pour les courses sur Duval? Et peut-être vous demander là, comment se fait-il, en même temps je pose une double question, mais en même temps, comment se fait-il que la course sur Duval est quasiment là, on n'en voit plus quasiment?
Premièrement, merci beaucoup de l'invitation. Puis je suis très fier d'être ici avec les gens qui sont autour de la table. Ce sont des personnages de la motoneige, puis on voit que la motoneige les a regardés jeunes. Okay, but thank you for the invitation. I'm very proud to be here with all those guys. You know, a lot of experience and time with Lanny, Wayne, Chester was my teacher. Everybody, you know, I was very happy to be here. Okay, you have a big question. I can spend all the afternoon to give you an answer on that, but I will try to do as quick as possible. First of all, when I started to work with the racing department in 1979, at end of 79, beginning of 78, beginning of 79, the overall was the main thing, you know, was very, very important. Those twin track were the most technologic vehicle, you know. And Chester was handling that project, we know, very, very well. Was a good show at that time. If we look, the technology was unbelievable at that time, you know. But the problem is Arctic Cat came in bankrupt at that time, okay? And Polaris, they say we will not raise twin track, okay? And we support that twin track program, you know, BRP. They spend a lot of money on that. It was a good show. But finally, someday they say, well, we have to race with our competitor. Because when we raise Skidoo to Skidoo, was not what the marketing really want, you know. They say we better to race with the competition, okay? And this is why we start to race Formula 3, Chem 440, and time after time, you know, the other brand quit because we have a very, very good success, you know. I should say a guy like Michael dominate all those races, you know, and the competition quit and they say, oh, well, we don't want to put our money on the oval anymore. And the Arctic Cat especially start, I should say, very strong on the Snowcross, and Polaris have the good vehicle for that too. And we decide to move to Snowcross. Well, it's funny because at that time I remember the Formula 500, I think. Chester asked me, could you prepare a vehicle for Snowcross? I was an oval guy, you know. I do everything wrong, you know. Big carburetor, I was an oval guy. Horsepower is the most important, but in Snowcross this is not what it is. I made the same mistake than all the kids, you know, when they start to race. They all thinking of horsepower. But anyway, it was a beginning, and I remember at Duluth, I think in I don't remember exactly the year, you know. I was behind the fence and was only 2 Skidoo, and everybody were on Polaris, Arctic Cat, and I look and see. That's impossible, we will do well on that, you know. This is huge. We are way behind the competition at that time. But we walk and we walk and we walk, and finally we have good success. Toni.h.Haikonen started to race with us. He was an exceptional racer. I remember in Duluth he won in open mud with a stock 440 at that time. Was unbelievable. And I told, I don't remember who was my boss, but I told if he won the open mud with the stock, I will chew like Villeneuve. But this is very bad. And he won, you know. And what was the, as I tell you, you know, I can speak all the afternoon about everything, you know, but I make a small resume. The main thing, Bombardier, why we move, this is because we want to follow the other factory and fight with the strong guy, you know. We don't want to fight with the, I should say, the independent, you know. Doesn't make sense, you know, to do that, you know. And was the reason why we follow what we have to follow, you know.
My last question, Mr. Imbault. If you look at both oval and you look at Snowcross, would you say one is more dangerous than the other, or more demanding one over the other?
I cannot really give you an answer because I should say oval is, we saw some fatal accident, you know, in the past, you know. That's, yes, it is dangerous. But in Snowcross, you know, with the huge jump those kids doing now, I saw some bad accident, you know, and example, Blair Morgan, Doug Henry and motocross, and those guys. Now, both are very dangerous, and I can tell you, in the Snowcross, you know, if you like to have a better idea, walk on the track after the race. You will not believe how big. You know, when you are on the side, that's okay, that's easy, you know. Walk on the track, that's unbelievable. I remember when I was young, I was a biker, you know, and one time I say, oh, motocross, look, easy, give me that. I make 2 laps, sweat, I didn't really go fast, and since that time I respect the guy. You know, that when that's look easy, that's not easy. You know, but both type of racing are dangerous. I should not say which one is the most dangerous. You know, but both are dangerous. This is not race in a car, you know. And I remember one time, Yvon Duhamel, you know, he was a bike racer, you know, and he was very good, and his son too, you know, Miguel. And he say he raced once in Mont-Tremblant, okay, and he say, I can adjust the radio, I can shake my hand to my friend on the grandstand. The car is like too easy to run to compare with motorcycle and things like that, you know. But yeah, both are in my mind. You can have injury on both, and I wish no injury, but this is part of the showtime sometimes. Thank you again.
Merci, M. Imbault. Maintenant, s'il y a des gens ici qui veulent poser des questions, there are people here that want to ask questions. Come right ahead. We still have about 20 minutes. Jean Goulin would like to ask a question.
Question pour monsieur.
Non, mais Gaetan, t'assois ici.
Question pour M. Duval. Combien de Twin Track ont été faits en 81 et qui les a eus? Trois. Parce que la semaine dernière, sur une page Facebook, on parlait que Gary Vessairs avait eu un Twin Track. C'est vrai ou c'est pas vrai? On sait que Jacques Villeneuve en a eu un. OK. On sait que Jacques Villeneuve en a eu un. Ben, Alan Decker aussi.
Ouais, ils ont eu l'année d'après.
Ah, OK. OK, pas en 81.
Non. La première année du Twin Track.
Seulement Jacques.
Il y a juste Jacques qui en avait fait un. On avait fait une autre copie pour Gilles.
OK, le Motorski 97.
C'est ça.
OK.
C'est ça.
OK.
Il y en avait eu trois de fait.
OK. Mais il y a eu des Twin Track 81 de données en 82, c'est ça?
Exact.
Un à Gary Vessairs, puis Alan Decker, c'est ça?
Exact.
Bon, c'est bon. Bon, OK.
Question and answer in English.
How many Twin Tracks have been made in 81?
81,
There were three twin track built at that time. One was strictly made for Jacques Villeneuve. The second one was built for Gilles because he raced once in Montreal, and we had a spare one. The year after, Dempsled won to Alan Decker, and the other one to Gary Vessairs from Ontario.
Motorski.
It was paint under Motorski, but I believe Gary changed the color on it. I don't know where that sled is now.
But it was an 81 model.
Yeah, it was an 81 model.
In 82.
In 82.
Okay. Because in 82, you have made one for Jacques Villeneuve and Brad Lane.
Yeah, exactly. That the second year with the model that changed. That was the second generation. We built three again, and one was made for Brad Ewlings, and the other one for Jacques Villeneuve again.
Okay.
That was that was it. 3 years. And the machine from the year before were sent to Independent Racer as Gary Vessairs and Alan Decker.
Okay. Good answer.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un d'autre qui veut poser des questions? Brian, I'm sure you have a question for someone.
Back in the 1980s, the Skidoo was running super stock 250, 340, and 440, and they were dominating everything in regards to racing at that time. I remember going into the pits. I was telling Wayne I used to go into the pits. I'd take pictures and stuff, and I would be walking and I'd be checking some of the other sleds out, and those sleds like from Polaris and Arctic Cat, they'd have Rotax motors in them. Did that bother you in regards to they were winning with a Polaris sled, or they were running with a Polaris sled, but they were actually running with Rotax motors in them? And because they were dominating 250, 340, and 440, did it come to the point where it's like nobody could compete with you, kind of put yourselves out of business at that time as far as the 250, the super stock? It's like I can remember going to the races and all you saw on the tracks was either a skidoo or a moto ski. And as far as bombardiers, they kind of like put themselves out of business in the super stock racing. If I'm not, did that really help your racing by being so dominant?
Well, that's a heck of a question. First of all, the Rotax engine were really dominating at that time. For one, and plenty good reason, we were spending a lot of time into the rotary valve engine, and then after the rate valve engine came in, and we were spending a lot of time into it. When we saw the competitor using our engine, well, in a way we were happy of it, you know, it keeps racer on the track, and that was fine. Of course, they were using our engine trying to beat us, but then it was a matter of more like handling stuff and clutching, you know, and we were doing our stuff into there. We were working also on aerodynamics. Did it kill racing? In certain point maybe, in others not, but we didn't have any other choice. When Arctic Cat went into bankruptcy, at that time back in the 81, and at the same time Scorpion, that was handled by Arctic Cat. For us, you know, we were losing our sole competitor at that time, so it was, you know, we weren't really happy of that point, but you know, we have to keep it ongoing, and we maintain oval racing, you know, for a few years, and then decide to put a series together, was called the Sport Series, based on twin track, and racing was well alive for 10 years after that. Then Snowcross came in, and well, that's a way of life, you know, and it was fine, you know, no regret at all. We had a good time.